Hey everybody, welcome back to the Tribe of Nerds. Shane and I are back for another Survivor What If, pondering the question in this vast Survivor multiverse, what would happen if you changed one thing? This week we're on the train wreck known as Gabon, and there's a lot of what ifs. We could go with what if the Gabon cast was logical? What if the Onion Alliance was able to prevail and Marcus didn't get taken out? But we kind of figured that's kind of an obvious one. Everybody says Marcus would have won the game. So instead, we're going to go with what if Sugar does not flip on Ace at the final 12? So we had the double. Sugar gets convinced by Kenny to save Crystal and blindside Ace instead. So what if she doesn't do that? What if she votes Crystal out and now Ace is still in the game? How does Ace being present in the rest of the game have it play out?
Yeah, I think this is interesting because Kenny and Crystal were such like a dominant piece of the season, being this very dominant duo. And Ace was such a big character pre-merge. And like now in this scenario, he's not pre-merge. He's going even farther in the game. And I feel like as much as Kenny and Crystal were a duo, Ace and Sugar were a duo too. Obviously not as strong, but if she doesn't flip on him, then they could be even stronger as a duo. So this is interesting. So if Sugar doesn't flip on Ace, like Crystal's going home here. And we assume Dan goes home on the other side. Like this vote doesn't affect that vote in any way. So then we go to our little like fake out merge where they just swap again. And instead of Crystal, we can just replace with Ace. So on the Coda tribe, we have, Bob, Susie, Kenny, now Ace, and Marcus. So that vote was a 3-2 vote for Marcus, between Marcus and Kenny, where Bob and Marcus voted Kenny, and Kenny, Crystal, and Susie voted Marcus. Ace, on the other hand, is probably voting Kenny, is my guess.
I don't
voting
think
Marcus.
I don't think like Kenny is gonna be able to trust Ace at all. Like I don't think that at all, unless the only thing, because Ace did make a deal with Matty in the pre-merge that Matty had Kenny and Ace had Sugar, if you remember that. So there was some sort of deal worked out, but I don't know, because then Marcus and Bob I think would have still targeted Kenny. So at this stage, like, let's say Kenny is able to talk Susie into keeping him. I mean, does Ace throw his vote somewhere else? Like, does Ace vote for Susie to try to keep his deal with Matty? And then it's a 2-2-1. And then I guess Kenny goes, well, no, because Marcus would be tied and Kenny would be tied. So it'd be Ace, Susie, and Bob. And so I guess
honestly, given how this season goes, I would expect that it's just going to somehow go to rocks. Like, even though on the revote, it like literally can't, because there's 3 people voting and you can only vote for those 2. If it were a 2-2-1 originally, but it's
I guess because it can't be a rock draw. So I mean, I feel like on the revote, I feel like Ace is just gonna have to sacrifice Kenny and then tell Matty, like, I'm sorry, I couldn't save Kenny.
Right.
So I feel like that's what happens.
Probably, because I mean, I don't believe Ace was on a tribe with Marcus at any point.
No, they were on Coda together.
So they were. So I guess, and they did vote together. So
maybe Ace just votes Kenny off initially and is just like, it doesn't go to a tie. Let's just say that Ace helps vote out Kenny and has to go to Matty at the next challenge and be like, hey, I'm sorry, I couldn't keep Kenny safe. It just made more sense to sacrifice him.
Yeah. So we lose Crystal and we lose Kenny back to back. And I mean, in my opinion, Kenny was like the strategic force this season that gave the season like any glimpse of strategy. So now he's gone. I mean, Marcus was like your typical like dominant player, so maybe we still have some like normalcy here, but there's not going to be much strategy. I can say that.
Sugar had strategy, but it was irrational strategy because it's Sugar was driving the game just in a very weird direction.
Yes. Yeah, very much. So yeah, now we're at the final 9, the real merge, and we don't have Kenny and Crystal, and we do have Marcus, and we do have Ace. So we have this Onion Alliance, and we have Sugar and Ace as a duo, and maybe they're like adjacent to the Onion Alliance to a degree, but I feel like there are a lot of complicated relationships here, and I'm not convinced how this is going to go, because in the real timeline we lose Charlie, and I don't know that that's happening.
There's no way that happens, because you have Marcus, Corinne, Charlie, you have Randy in there, and then Bob. They're gonna have Bob, and then Ace and Sugar together. Now Ace and Sugar, is Ace gonna still go with them, or is he gonna try to pull something off with Sugar? But either way, they're not gonna have the numbers. So
right.
and we're also assuming in this timeline that the idol still got thrown into the ocean. So so that is not in play. Does Bob try? I mean, is Bob going to try making his fake idol the next round at this point? But I don't even know, with him not being in the position of being necessarily on the bottom. I don't know. Because I mean, he did that.
I think he did it out of desperation, and like doing that, he was crafty, but he wasn't sneaky. And I don't think that he would do it when he's in a majority. He only did it out of necessity, so I don't see him doing that here.
Okay, so we're at the final 9 now. So we have the fire making challenge for final 9. Susie wins that in the actual timeline, but do Marcus and Ace, are one of them better at fire than Susie? I'm not really sure. That wasn't really tested. Not that we saw.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's hard to say because we didn't really see anything to suggest one way or the other there.
Right. So we just want to say Susie ends up still winning.
Yeah.
Okay, so Susie is safe at the final 9. So at this point, I mean, I could see the Onions wanting to try to cut Ace loose, because I think they were already talking about, okay, Ace is trying to manipulate Sugar, and like I honestly feel like the Onions would have tried to take a shot at Ace at this point. Possibly.
But do Ace and Sugar pull numbers on their side to go against this Onion Alliance? Which their numbers would be Susie and Matty.
Yeah, so Susie and Matty.
They need one more though. I don't.
And they're not gonna, because Randy is firmly with the Onions now, and Bob is obviously firmly with them, unless Sugar appeals to Bob. But I don't. I at this point I don't know that Sugar and Bob were particularly close until it got later into the merge.
Yeah. So I think maybe they pull Susie and Matty, which they probably do, but it's a 5-4 vote, and it's Ace going.
Yeah, I think they blindside Ace, and Sugar does not play her idol. I guess at this point, because I don't know, but like
if it's a blindside, sure, but if they know it's Ace, she could play her idol.
Yeah, I honestly don't know that they would. I mean, again, it's Gabon, so they probably wouldn't. I don't know that they would see it coming, but I almost am like, would Sugar have honestly maybe understood, because she played it for Matty in the real timeline at Final 6. I feel like at this point, maybe she sees that, okay, the Onions they're gonna try to vote off Ace, so I should give him my idol. And so I know Charlie was the boot in the real timeline, but that was because Kenny was pushing it, because he was bitter about Charlie stealing his idol clue. So at this point, I don't know if they target Randy because they can't stand Randy, or because I don't know that Sugar and Ace are necessarily going to want to target Marcus.
Right. Yeah, it might be Randy, because like I feel like Sugar is a very emotional player, and she's annoyed by Randy. And I mean, Ace could go that emotional way too. So I think Randy, just out of annoyance.
Yeah.
And to idle him out too would make it even funnier. But I guess so this would be in place of the whole cookie incident, because if they get him out here, there's no
No.
cookie incident. But like this, it's kind of the same. Like they're gonna sort of make a fool of him.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be sad that we can't see cookies in the timeline anyway.
We love cookies over at this podcast.
Yes, we do.
Especially that moment in the auction is fun.
Yes. Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
Randy's probably going. Maybe Randy goes. I kind of want to just run with Randy going here because I want to see a move made, like with the idol. It's kind of fun. And Sugar did play her idol on someone else, being Matty, in the real timeline. So like, yeah, let's say she plays it here on Ace.
Yeah. Okay. So Randy goes before the cookies, so we don't get that petty.
So
fight.
then, in theory, this next round is a 4-4. But is it actually or not? Is the question.
Well, so obviously Ace and Sugar know that they just tried to blindside Ace.
Yep. But now the idol's going to go back into play, so someone's going to go to exile.
So Bob went in the real timeline, but again, that's Kenny stealing Bob's money. So let's say that. So that would still happen. So who is going to get that option? I mean, again, this is theoretical without Kenny there.
Yeah, it's so random.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's the part that we're stuck on right now.
Okay, well, I guess because it's random, we just have to pick someone randomly and run with it. Like that's kind of our premise, I guess, that we're stuck with.
Okay.
So
go with who would be most interesting.
Whose spot did Kenny, or who took Kenny's spot in this timeline? I mean,
Ace or Marcus?
Yeah.
So
I guess technically Marcus.
Yeah, it would technically be Marcus.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just go with that. So Marcus gets to steal someone's money and send them to exile. He's probably gonna send one of his own people because they know the idol's back out there. Yeah, but again, it's Gabon, so you never know.
Yeah, I mean, they threw an idol in the ocean, so I mean, I don't really know. I'm gonna say, let's say they agree that they're gonna send one of them to exile. So let's say Marcus sends. Does he send Charlie or Corinne? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, maybe Corinne, because Charlie probably just wants to enjoy the food and they're close.
And enjoy Marcus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so Corinne gets sent to exile. I mean, Corinne's pretty savvy, I would think, in this type of thing. So I'm gonna guess Corinne finds the idol.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, so Corinne finds the idol. We're at the final 8, and Corinne's really bitter about the whole Randy thing. So she's like, yeah, maybe now she wants them to get rid of Sugar. I don't know, at this point. And so the final 8 immunity was won by Kenny. That's the dominoes. So without Kenny there, it was Matty and Corinne that were the two closest.
Yeah.
Corinne had an advantage from the challenge, but she's not there because of money. So let's say Matty wins immunity.
Yeah.
So
I think they're not going to split votes here because they can't really. And they know Corinne has the idol, or maybe they don't know, but they assume. And then you can kind of assume she's probably going to be greedy. So I could see them pulling like a Survivor Fiji and going for the person least likely to get the idol, which might be Bob. Because I think they would assume that either she plays it on herself or she plays it on Marcus. And then that leaves Charlie and Bob. I think they would go Bob.
Okay, so they vote Bob, and those 4 vote for Sugar in this scenario.
Yeah. Either Bob or Charlie. I mean, maybe Charlie's the more exciting
I think maybe Charlie. I think let's hit Charlie, because I also think Sugar's like maybe at this point, because I think this is where she actually does start being like talking to Bob and getting, telling him informations because of their relationship. So I think they vote Charlie.
Yeah.
So Charlie gets the votes. Sugar gets the votes. So it's a 4-4 tie. and Corinne plays the idol on Marcus.
Yep.
So it is now that tie. Matty has immunity, so it goes to Rocks, which again is random. So we don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Um,
I think someone flips, and I think
Susie.
Probably.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of Susie, Ace. But no, I think Ace again is gonna stick.
I could see Susie, and I'm thinking, like, what I'm pinning her into is Sharn from Australian Survivor All-Stars. That, like, I just see the same thing happening.
She promises people something if she votes with them, and then she goes back on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say Susie flips. She votes out Sugar. So our Sugar Shack is no longer with us. And so that changes things because now we're no longer going to get Corinne yelling at Sugar from the jury.
Yep.
So now again, those four are once again in the majority. And so at this point, I think Bob still goes on his challenge winning streak.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So because he wins the bocce ball, the masks, and the Gabonese puzzle village maze thing. So so he wins 3 in a row. So at this point, Bob is safe. And so I think they start picking off that side. They get rid of Ace. I think next. So Ace or Matty, but I think they go Ace.
Probably Ace. Yeah.
Yeah. So they get rid of Ace at this point, and then I think they'll probably get rid of Matty, and then get rid of just get rid of Susie. So I think we're down to our final 4 anyway of basically the onion.
Right. So Bob, Corinne, Charlie, Marcus.
Okay. Well,
and then I assume at the final immunity, well, Susie's not going to be there to win it. So
this is the House
Bob
of Cards.
Doesn't, yeah.
So I think was Bob the second closest in this challenge anyway? So
I don't remember, but if he was, then we can go with him winning it.
Okay, Bob wins immunity again, so the Corinne, Charlie, Marcus have to break up.
Yeah. Do we think it's a fire making, or do we think it's just a straight vote, like 3-1, or is it 2-2? Oh
boy, this is
Marcus and Charlie are gonna vote together. It's then does Corinne vote with, or does Bob vote with Corinne or not?
I think Bob is maybe more likely to vote with Corinne, to be honest. I feel like Corinne talked to Bob a little more, but also she was there longer.
And they probably vote for Marcus because they're like, he's going to win. So so it's Corinne versus Marcus in a fire making challenge.
Yeah. And
I don't even know who would win that.
No, and again, they are going to vote for Marcus because Corinne loves her gays, so she's not going to vote Charlie.
Right. That is true.
I kind of want to say Corinne pulls off an upset and takes out Marcus in fire. I kind of want to, but I'm like, maybe Marcus is just again good at everything. But I feel like
fire's random, so I mean we could go with that. Let's go with that.
I just want to make it more interesting.
Yeah.
So okay, so Marcus is the fallen angel. So we're at the final 3. So the jury's starting with Kenny now, voting for Corinne, Bob, or Charlie.
Yeah.
So Kenny, I think, votes for Corinne. Kenny has always been randomly upset at Bob. I know, in this timeline, the immunity snafu does not happen because Kenny's been long gone. But I also just think Kenny's been very upset with Bob. And yeah. So I think Corinne gets Kenny's vote. So then next we have Randy. And Randy probably does Corinne
or Marcus.
Marcus is out.
I mean Charlie.
I think he'd vote for Corinne over Charlie.
Yeah, probably.
Corinne gets Randy's vote. So then it's Sugar. I think Sugar probably votes Bob.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, Sugar, just because of her dad and everything. So I think she votes Bob. And then we have Ace. This is a tough one.
Maybe Charlie. Like, I don't want to see. I have a hard time seeing Charlie as a 0 vote finalist. So, like,
I don't think Charlie's. Yeah. But I mean, 0 vote finalist sometimes doesn't necessarily mean. I mean, in the case of like Fishback, but like
right.
But I do think Charlie does deserve at least a vote. So I don't know. I'll say Ace votes for Charlie.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna see who else, and then it's Matty and Susie. Matty, I think, is probably Bob.
Yeah, I think so.
Because Susie's not there, and I think he did respect Bob. It's just that he had a better relationship with Susie.
Right.
And then I think and then Susie votes. I don't think she never liked Corinne, so
she's not voting Corinne.
I think she voted Bob.
Yeah,
I think she votes Bob.
Yeah.
So what is that? Is it? It's 3-2 right now. 3 Bob, 2 Corinne.
Okay.
So
and 1 Mark or 1 Charlie.
Or wait, maybe I'm trying to think. So.
Okay, so Kenny votes who?
Kenny votes Corinne. Randy votes Corinne. So that's 2 there. Then we have Sugar voting Bob. That's 2-1. Ace voting Charlie. 2-1-1. Maddie votes for Bob and Susie. Yeah, so it's 3-2-1.
Okay.
So now it comes down to the last vote, which is Marcus.
I feel like he's voting Charlie.
Okay, so it's 3-2-2. So Bob still wins.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be the first of that happening, like that kind of vote.
Yeah, that's crazy that we came to the conclusion maybe that Bob still wins.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising, but yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I see how that plays out. But again, that's kind of a crapshoot because of a couple jury votes. We really had no idea, so it could change.
Yeah, it definitely could change. I mean, we know that this cast is a bit irrational and emotional, so they could vote for any reason for anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, so that's it for our What If for this week. Go check out our Gabon recap with Austin and Kristen and Devin for more talk about this hot mess of a season. And yeah, we'll be back next week for more Survivor What If scenarios and interviews. So go subscribe, and we'll see you all next time on the Tribe of Nerds.